right, you guys keep asking me for sampling techniques in FL Studio. Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. I'm Game from BusyWorksBeats.com. We've trained over 1 million producers around the world. Some have gone to work with Drake, Kanye West, Post Malone, Ariana Grande, French Montana, Young Thug, YG, Polo G, Lil Trippie Redd, Lil Baby, J. Cole, on and on and on. So in this video, I'm going to guide you step by step through how to use all these different sampling techniques inside of FL Studio. I won't cover everything because that'll be like a 5-hour video. But what we'll cover is like the basics, plus some things you may have not known. Okay, so firstly, let's grab a sample. Now, before I even get to the sample, I like to actually understand that I could use my typing keyboard to play notes. So you could right click this and go to C4, make sure you right click and then go to where it says layout slice X. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go to a drum break, for example. This drum break is from AJ Hall. I like the unprocessed drums, but for this video, we'll just use processed drums. So let's pick one we actually vibe with. Okay, so let's right click and let's open this and slice. The reason we're doing this is because we can use our typing keyboard to trigger slice. Now you can right click and change the grid, but I like to keep mine on medium auto slicing. I found that that's the best chopping style. So now once you do this, you can now, as long as you right click your typing keyboard, layout slice C4, make sure C and 4, or else this won't play the same way. And then you can now use your typing keyboard to trigger different chops. So let's go back to, let's say 80 something BPM. Now these drums aren't processed the way I would like them. So what I'm gonna do is start with the snare and the hi-hat. So the cool part about chopping up a drum break is that you get all these nuances and differences that makes your drum feel a little more realistic. So what I'll do, I'm gonna go through and find 2 hi-hat samples. So I'm just playing my QWERTY keyboard right now, just triggering the notes. I don't think this one has hi-hats, does it? Okay, so it doesn't have hi-hat. So let's do a drum fill. Okay, so let's go to pattern 2. Let's hit record, notes and automation, turn on the metronome, and we'll just record that part. Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is gonna give you more realistic fills that you don't get in samples. Let's hit Control Q to quantize. Okay, so now we have unique little things we can add. Even if we don't use these drums all the way through the track, as far as kick and snare, we could still use those drum fills. So let's do another one. Okay, just really, let's clone this. Why waste our energy when we clone? And just add this note. So now we have 2 drum fills. Okay, so that's 1, and then we could use this one. Okay, so now let's go to sampling. Now in FL Studio, they've updated a couple things in sampling. Serato Sample is the ultimate sampling tool right now, but I understand everybody doesn't have the money to buy Serato Sample. So what we're gonna do is just use the stock stuff for now, but understand that Serato Sample is like 10 years better for many reasons. Okay, so let's grab a song, and this song here, if it loads. Okay, so let's just find different sections of this song. So we're gonna quickly eyeball and just grab sections that we like. There's no rhyme or reason. We're just grabbing the stuff that we like. Let's turn this down. Let's turn off those. Okay, so you guys have heard this drop a million times. Let's hit Shift Alt, do a vertical slice, left click right at that kick because that's the downbeat here. And now we need to count. So 1, 2, turn the metronome off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm gonna like keep muting the audio because you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and it looks like the drop starts there again. Okay, so what we're gonna do is hit Shift Alt to do a vertical slice right here. And now we have our first loop, or our first section of a song, I should say. What we can do is so much to explain. We're gonna grab this and then click here, make this unique as sample, because without that, when you start to do stuff with the audio, it will affect everything to the right and the left. So right now we've basically made this its own audio file so that we're not affecting the entire song. This is important for time stretch. So let's double click, go to mode, stretch mode, and let's pull in this time knob to lock it to the nearest bar. So let's stretch it out pretty far. Also, you could pull down the pitch or pull up the pitch. Let's pull it up 300 cents. You can read the value in the top left. Every 100 cents is 1 note. So we're pulling it up 3 keys right now. Okay, let's go back. Let's mute the original. So let's say you like that, but the drums are kind of making it feel slowed down. In FL Studio, the new versions, you can click in the top left, go to extract stems from sample. And this will remove and create individual tracks per the categories of sound. So let's click here and we're going to separate all of them. Now, if the audio clip is long, this will take a long time. That took forever for a 4-bar. Okay, so let's double click and let's pull up the time knob, okay, to lock this to the nearest grid. Do this for each one. Okay, pull up that time knob, lock it to the grid. So you have to re-time stretch all these chops is what we're doing right now. Let's go back. It's a little tedious. Grab this, pull it up. Okay, so now we have it all time stretched. We have each individual instrument section. So let's say we don't want the drums. Let's turn off the drum. So let's say you want all this and you want it as one file to make it easier. Go to your mixer, turn off any mastering plugins. Just click this button here to turn any plugins off. Okay, because what we're going to do is highlight these, hit Control to highlight, and then hit Control G. Now it will group all those into one sample. So we don't have to constantly move 3 samples all the time. It just gets tedious. So let's delete the original. Let's delete all this background stuff. And now we're left with this new sample. So it doesn't perfectly loop. It seems like there's like a gap in the beginning somewhere. So that would require some editing on the tail ends. But outside of just that small, that's why there's a little blip. So sometimes you got to check. Again, it's not perfect time stretch sometimes. Go to your slice tool, hit shift, right click to delete any overlapping. Okay, so now let's add some modern drums. This part, we could sit here all day and add some drums. I'm going to make this extremely straightforward and not make this super long because you've probably done this a million times. Okay, so here's the drums. Let's add a little snare in here. Let me see, snares, come on. I don't know why my thing is like clicking so much. Let's add this snare. We're not gonna obsess. Let's go here. Now we're gonna add our own drums to this sample. Let's go back. I'll show you a couple tips. So now you have that vibe. Let me up the buffer. I don't know what I probably have too many processes going on my. Got like 8 programs open. Okay, so let's see when to create parts. Let's copy this over. Hit Control B. Grab this slice tool and change your snap to grid to either a beat or a half beat. Zoom in. Okay, so now let's chop it up. So let's hit shift to do vertical slices. And now you can grab this slip tool and just left click and move the audio around. Okay, so you could have stuff repeat. Okay, so for the ooze, let's pull that audio back. Now that impact kind of makes that less. Okay, so now you're thinking more like a DJ, how to remix all this stuff. So that's how you would do that to change up stuff. Also in FL Studio, the newer versions, you could crossfade with the actual audio clip. This is for people who have updated. So you can crossfade pretty quickly. There's one more thing you could do. Let's consolidate all this. Let's right click, consolidate from track start. And actually, I'm trying to think what we need to do before we do it. Let's say you want to trapify this. Let's go to a trap tempo. Let's say 1. Now, before we do this, let's make sure we time stretch this. Very important. So we're at 84. Let's pull this up to like 140 BPM. Okay, so what we're gonna do is re-render this at 140 BPM with the time stretch on. What this will allow us to do is chop it up so that it fits the 140 BPM. So let's consolidate from track start, the audio, and leave remainder. Let's cut remainder. We don't need remainder. And make sure everything good. Okay, so what it did was now we can double click in here, right click, go to Fruity Slicer. I learned this from Wonder Girl. Okay, grab the slice tool, change it to either a beat or a half beat. Now we're gonna go to a new pattern, open up a new pattern, boom, paste. So now you can chop the sample up by the beat or the half beat. You can pull up the attack knob. So this is great for like trapifying stuff. So let's do a little tempo thing. Okay, let's have it go from like, what was it, 84 BPM. Let's create an automation clip. And then let's add these nodes. So let's say you want to do like a Drake. You want to switch up the tempo. Let's right click, paste, right click. Let's move up to 140 BPM. Copy that value, right click, paste, right click, paste. So now it's going to go from 84 to 140. So over here, let's start messing with the 140 drums and trapify it. Now I don't have any hi-hats loaded, so we're just going to do kick and snare. Okay, so let's do boom, clap, clap, clap. Let's add this. Actually, I want it to be 180 BPM, so it feels a little bit faster. Let's copy that, paste that value. So now the sample will time stretch for this higher BPM. Now remember, we time stretch for 140, not 180. So it's a little bit, you might hear the samples kind of like end. That's because it wasn't time stretched for 180. But it still sounds trapified. So let's go all the way back. You can also change the pitch here by pulling it up or down. So that is how you do it. Thank you guys for watching. To learn more, go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. Peace.